Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I play through Solar Titans. And I thank you for joining me for this solo playthrough of Solar Titans. Solar Titan is coming to Gamefound later this year, so keep an eye out for that. Now, Solar Titans is a deck building game where you have your ship here and you're fighting against an AI ship over here. This is built for the normal mode. I have chosen my ship based on the card that I drew here, this Elysium V. You draw two of these cards and choose the ship layout you want to play, and then you set up your ship exactly as it shows. For the AI is set up here. For normal mode, in hard mode it would have more components. I get these 5 repair cards, which allows me to repair some of my cards at the end of my player turn if I want to. And I have a starter deck here, which has 2 arm cards, a bunch of cargo crew cards, and then a crew coordinator. And so the cargo crew cards are money cards, which you're going to use to buy new cards. This crew coordinator is a money card, but you can also spend 1 money instead to trash a card in your hand. And then the arm cards here, you can fire 1 ship weapon, or you can prep it for future turns, and basically you set it aside for a future turn and then activate it when you'd like. So if you want to do a big fire, you can do it then. Now over to the left here, I have a market set up. Standard market for a deck building game, so there's a total of 6 cards in the market. There's also 2 decks of cards that you can buy. So this one are the hauling crew, and they can give you 2 money, or you can trash it to move 1 ship card. And then the mercenary crew, and this one's scrap to fire 1 ship weapon, or you can prep it for future turns. And the cost of the cards are going to be down in the bottom here. Here's an example of a card in the market. So this is an armor piece. It gives 3 armor. It cannot be repaired. That's what that symbol stands for. And it costs 5. Note that on cards that cannot be repaired, when they're damaged, on the other side, they will have the cannot be repaired symbol. So you'll remember that. Here's a couple weapon cards in the market currently. So we have a boost laser. And boost laser lets you spend money. When you arm this, you can spend money to upgrade the damage, so it can do a total of 2 damage instead of 1. And this one here gets +1 from each attached laser, so that's orthogonally adjacent. So if you attach this one to another laser, like my alpha laser, if I stuck the link laser right here, my alpha laser would give the link laser +1 damage. I'll show you one more card here. This is the Styx missile. It costs 5, has 1 defense, and it has the flanking action. And so flanking lets you hit a card that is the furthest left or right of a row. So in the case of the enemy ship here, if I wanted to hit it with a Styx missile, I could hit this card, this one or this one, this one or this one, this one, this one or this one. So as we play the game, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to draw 5 cards, like a normal deck builder, play those cards, maybe buy something from the market, activate some of my weapons, or place some cards on my ship. And so if I build out my ship, I can build it in a 5x5 grid, but I can only hold 15 total ship cards as listed here on the command deck. Other cards of note here are the crew quarters. Now, if the crew quarters is disabled, flipped over to the other side here, it'll tell you that I have to discard 2 cards every turn at the beginning of the turn. And then if my targeting bay is disabled, I now have to arm a weapon twice in order to fire it. And so the goal of the game is to destroy the command deck of the enemy's ship. And of course, their goal is to destroy the command deck of my ship. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to build out this ship, possibly put out some additional protection, and arm multiple guns and try and work our way towards the command deck. Now the AI is going to also try the same thing with us. And so the way the AI works is every turn it's going to get a card. So you draw the top card of the market deck and check to see if it's a ship card. Now this is not a ship card. And so this card would get discarded. And so here is a ship card. And so this is the card that the AI is going to use next turn. If it's a defense card, the green card's here, then it's going to replace either a disabled card or upgrade an existing card. And there's a priority system on how that gets done. But basically we set this here for now, so I know what's coming. And so I'm going to take the first turn of the game. I'm going to draw my 5 cards. And so here are the cards that I get to use. And I just basically have $5. Well, that being the case, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy the Styx missile. And then I take the Styx missile from the market and add it to my discard pile. And then at this point, I will replenish the market. And then now that my turn is done, I have no more cards to play. These all go in the discard pile. And I will draw my new hand of 5 cards. Of course, I could decide to repair if I needed to, but I do not. So now we go with the AI's turn. The AI's turn is very simple. You use the card that it played. So in this case, since it does not have any disabled cards at the moment, it's going to upgrade a card. And so it's going to upgrade it based off of how much it costs. All the starter cards basically are going to get upgraded here. But in this case, it goes with priority. And the first priority is the middle column here. So it'll start here. This is priority number 1, then 2. And then it goes left to right. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You generally don't have to make your way through that entire priority. So in this case here, we're going to get rid of this card here and replace it with this one. Now he has added defense of 2 in that first slot. And so now we draw another card from the market for the AI's next turn. And this time it'll be a weapon, and we'll go over what that happens in just a moment. So now it's my turn. And this time I have both my arms, and I have $3. So I'm going to play one of those arms, and then I'm going to set one aside here to prep for a future turn. And I have the $3. So first I'm going to just go ahead and buy a card. And I'm going to buy the nano plate here. Now the nano plate lets you move this once per turn. So if you need to adjust it on your board and move it into a place that's better for it, you can do that. Also, it can be repaired too. That's kind of why I picked it. So this will be a good card for me. I'm going to put this in my discard pile. And so now I get to activate my weapon. So I only have one weapon. That's why I set one of my arms to prep for a future turn. And I have this weapon here, so I can fire and deal 1 damage. So when you fire with normal weapons, you have to fire the ship straight on. So this is the front of the ship here. Just consider us facing the ship. I cannot get through its kinetic plate here because it has 2 defense. So at this point, I can only target the front of these columns here. So I can hit its wings in the back there if I wanted to, or I can hit one of these 2 here. And I think I'll go ahead and hit this one, and we'll flip that over. Now that's been disabled. And so then I go ahead and discard my cards, and we're going to draw again. Now I don't have any cards in my draw pile, so we go ahead and shuffle the deck. All right, so now it's the AI's turn. This time it has a weapon. So what happens here is it's called attack and upgrade. So first, it's going to attack with all its weapons. Now it has 2 here. And these are just standard lasers, so they're going to hit straight on. And at this point, I get to choose what gets damaged. So I will go ahead and flip this one over here. And then I think I'll flip this one over here. And then the AI would take this weapon here and upgrade its current weapons if it matched the criteria. Now you're to treat the alpha lasers as a cost of 2. So if this weapon is more than 2, you would replace the left one first, then the right one as far as priority goes. But in this case, this one here costs 2, and so it doesn't replace either of those weapons and it just gets discarded. Also, if one of those weapons had been disabled, you would replace it with another weapon. And so now we draw another card for the AI, and it's another weapon. So he's going to be firing on me again. And so here's my new hand. And we have $4 and the Styx missile. So we'll go ahead and set that there. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy the Dion plate with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and arm the Styx missile to attack. Now again, the Styx missile can hit the flanking sides, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit this one here. Again, it's the furthest left or right side of any row, and so we're taking out that one there. Now, I think I'm going to actually repair one, and I'll repair this one here. So you take one of your repair kits, flip it over, and we're going to set that underneath. You can never replenish your repair kits, so you have to be careful when you use them. So we'll flip this card here. We'll discard the cards and draw back up to 5. And there we go. And so now it's the enemy's turn again, and once again they're going to fire both of their weapons. So both of these plates I'm going to decide to take down. This one, again, only costs 2, so it's not going to upgrade either of those weapons and just gets discarded. Then we draw a new card for the AI, and it's another weapon. Man, the AI is just going all out trying to kill me. It's not worrying about its defenses too much. We'll see how this plays out. And here are my cards. Now I've got the nano plate, which I can place in front of one of my guns here. I'm going to go ahead and place it in front of the Styx missile. So this card here, I'm just going to trash. Now I could just put it up here actually if I wanted to and then repair this one. But I'm just going to go ahead and place it right in front of it. We're going to trash this card. And then I'm able to arm and spend $3. So we definitely want to arm. I'm going to arm this alpha laser, shoot right down this line here and take out its gun. And then with the $3, I'm going to buy the nano cannon. And the nano cannon is able to move, but it's got 1 defense and 1 attack. I mainly need it for the defense at this point because I don't have enough cards to arm 3 guns at once, but this will still be useful. And I think I'm going to go ahead and repair this one as well. So we'll spend the repair kit there, down to 3. And now we draw the 5 cards. I have 1 there, so I have to shuffle. And there's my other 4 cards. Alright, so now the enemy's going to go. Again, it attacks first, so it only has 1 gun at this point. So it's going to go ahead and fire. And so it'll fire here. And then it's going to upgrade. So at this point, it's going to upgrade the disabled gun. So it's just going to replace it there. And now it's going to get, oh man, this katana beam. So this katana beam shoots 2 adjacent ship cards for 2 damage each. This thing is awful. But thankfully, it's in a way that I can destroy it. Hopefully, I drew an arm card to do so. If not, I might get hurt pretty bad this next turn. And so there it is. Now it's my turn. I do have an arm card, so we're going to go ahead and use that to take down the katana beam. The katana beam only had 1 defense, so now it's done. And then I have $4. I'm going to buy a standard plate. That costs 2. And then I'm going to buy a hauling crew so I can be able to spend more money when I need to. Discarding my cards and drawing back up to 5. I had forgotten to draw the AI's card, so we don't even know what's going on. Looks like he's going to attack again. But at this point, I'm not going to repair either of these 2. I'm just going to let it happen. He'll end up attacking here or here. I have to decide which one that's going to be. With that card, the AI attacks, and we're going to just take out this light plate here. I'm got to be careful here. I need to put some defenses here in a moment, but I could always repair that if I don't get the defenses I need. And then he's going to replace the disabled ship card. And now we draw for his other card. And this time the AI is playing on the defensive a little bit. Doesn't like the fact that I've been shooting down all its extra guns. So it's going to try and build its defenses again. And here we go. Alright, I got some good cards this time. So, first things first, I'm going to put this plate right in front of my command deck. And then I'm going to place this gun right here. And then I can arm and spend 2 money. I think I'm going to prep the arm for a featured turn. And the 2 money, I'm going to buy a boost laser. And boost laser is this card here. And then drawing back up now. I'm not going to repair any of my cards at this time. And now it's the AI's turn, so it's just going to repair this one here. And draw its new card, which is another defensive card. Now we go to my turn. And I have 5 money this time. And I can arm. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. So we're going to use the prepped arm as well as this arm to fire twice. I've got 5 money to spend. And this time, I'm actually going to buy a mercenary crew. That way I can fire more weapons more frequently. Now, this is a one-time use, but I think it's time to start going on the offensive. And so I'm going to fire twice, and I'm going to fire these two weapons here. So my alpha laser is going to hit the wing here and flip that over because it's straight on here. And then my Styx missile is going to flank that spot and destroy that weapon. And we'll go ahead and discard everything. And now it's the AI's turn, and it's going to go ahead and place this one on its wing here. And here's its new card, and it's going to start firing its weapons again. Alright, so now we've got my boost laser available. And I think I'll go ahead and place it right here. And then I have 4 money again. I'm going to go ahead and buy another mercenary card. And that's going to end my turn. Alright, now the AI goes. It's going to fire its one weapon. Now it needs to do 1 damage. You can't assign it to these two here because it doesn't take out a card when it has another option to take out a card. So it's going to go ahead and destroy my nano cannon. And then it's going to upgrade with the Styx missile, which is no fun. And we draw another card, and it's got another weapon. Now I want you to take into consideration the fact that the AI doesn't use any effects on weapons or cards. It's just there for the defense and damage and the damage type. Alright, so it's my turn now. I've got the standard plate available. And I'm going to go ahead and place it above the boost laser. And then I'm actually going to activate the boost laser. So first of all, we have the mercenary here. And that's going to get scrapped. And it just gets scrapped back to the market. And then I'm going to spend the 3 extra money to boost that boost laser. So it does 2 damage in 1 shot. And it's going to hit the standard plate here. Now, note that if I had shot this one here for 2 damage, the damage does not carry over unless your weapon has piercing. And that's notated by a different symbol on the card. But the boost laser is just standard damage, so even if it did 5 damage on this card here, it would just destroy that 1 card, not anymore. Alright, drawing back up to 5. And now the AI is going to go. So at this point, it's going to fire twice. It does 1 damage with the alpha laser, and then 1 with the Styx missile. And it's going to combine fire and take out my standard plate. Now this weapon here is not going to upgrade anything because its cost is only 2, so we just discard it. And draw a new card here. Oh no. So, remember what I said about piercing? That's the piercing symbol right there. So this does 2 damage, and that damage can pierce. So if it hits something with 1 defense, it'll go on to the next part for an extra damage. Thankfully, it can't boost itself, but it also has 2 defense, so it makes it much more difficult to hit. On top of that, it's going to upgrade this spot here. And I haven't destroyed any of those plates, so trying to get to this weapon is going to be difficult. Alright, so here are my cards. Wow, how about timing there? I got 3 arms. I do have 3 weapon. I might as well use them. And I also have $2 here. I'm going to spend the $2 on another hauling crew. And then I'm going to use all 3 arms. I'm going to go ahead and discard the mercenary card. And so we're going to arm all 3 of these. So I have options here. I could hit 1, 2, and 3 to destroy that alpha laser. And that would mean I take less damage next turn. And it also removes the defenses to hitting this mass cannon. I'm not sure if that's the best bet. I could hit these 3 here. But here's the thing. The first time you destroy the crew quarters of the enemy AI, you immediately draw 1 card from the market and place it there. That could be a 3rd weapon. So you got to be careful on your timing when you destroy the crew quarters. And so I think I'll go ahead and use 1, 2, and 3 damage. So the laser here, the Styx missile here, and the other laser there. So we're going to flip these over and discard my cards. I am going to go ahead and use a field repair kit and repair my plate up here. And then we're drawing back up. And so now the AI is going to go. It's going to fire the Styx missile. So it can't destroy this one, or this one. So it's going to go and destroy either this one, or this one, because it's the flanking side. So I have to choose which one I'm going to destroy. I'll go ahead and destroy the alpha laser, because the boost laser is slightly more useful. So that is gone. And then it's going to upgrade this card. And we're drawing from the main deck there. And he's got an armor card next turn. I am so glad it's not a weapons card, because I don't think I'd be able to destroy that mass cannon yet. And of course not. I do not have any arms here. Only money. Now I have $6. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy a couple cards from the market. And these are boarding pods. So the boarding pods you place in front of the ship. And then the next turn you trash it to board the enemy ship. And it's 1 flanking damage on each one. Now, of course, these go in my discard pile for now. But this could allow for a really big turn later. So I think it's worth it. I'm going to save my field repair kits for now. Draw back up. And then it's the enemy's turn. So it's going to replace this card here. And its next card is another armor. Alright, that bought us some time. Now I do have the 1 arm and $5. So I think I'm going to go ahead and destroy that mass cannon. So I'm going to spend 3 of those dollars and the 1 arm to do the boost laser, making it 2 damage. It's going to shoot right down this line and destroy that mass cannon. I have 2 left over here, and I'm going to buy a standard plate. And it's really interesting that this game doesn't have you building a big deck. I mean, there's like 9 cards here, plus the 5 there, so I'm at 14 cards, and I keep putting cards out, and so I keep cycling through my deck quite well. So you definitely keep your deck small. You can even do better if you use that option of trashing a card in your hand, and maybe I should use that more often. Alright, so now it's the AI's turn, and we're going to go off of priority here. So the AI is going to, this would be the first priority, second, third, fourth. And so that's the armor spot it's going to replace. And it draws a new card here, and it's armor again. This time a standard plate. So it's definitely trying to upgrade. And here we go. Now I've got a standard plate, and I can arm. Now I have to be careful. If I shoot anywhere on here, it's going to replace that spot with a standard plate, most likely. That's actually not a bad idea. So first I'm going to place this standard plate here. And then I'm going to arm just my boost laser here and hit this one. That way it places the standard plate there, so I don't have to worry about that standard plate going somewhere over here. I have $3, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a link laser and draw in my hand for the next turn. Alright, now it's the AI's turn. It's going to go ahead and use this to replace this. And drawing its next card, and it's going to start firing again. Now this one's kind of interesting. This is the Flux Beam. So the Flux Beam, when it hits, it doesn't do damage, but it causes 2 cards to be swapped. So that's kind of different. Alright, so for my turn, all I have is money. Now I could go for a big weapon, and I think that's what I should do. So with $7 here, I'm going to buy the Artemis missile. Now the Artemis missile has 1 defense, but look at that. It's a 2 damage flank. And if I play my cards right, I will be able to flank the command deck there. Draw back up to 5. And now it's his turn. He's going to do the 1 damage on the flanking side. And the only thing that he can hit right now is this one, or this one. I don't want to lose the 6 missile, so I guess I'll lose that one. Maybe I should have put some defenses here. And then he's going to upgrade that card. And he's drawn his next card, which is another weapon. Alright, so here we go. I finally got my boarding pods here. So we're going to go ahead and place these in the front of the ship. Remember, I can go 5 by 5. And then I can arm 1. And I think I'll use the Styx missile to hit this here. Now next turn I get to trash those 2 boarding pods and hit on the flanking side. So hopefully I can take out that command deck. We'll see how this goes. Alright, so he's going to attack. He's going to do 1 damage. And unfortunately, it's just these two. I probably should have repaired these at the end of the last turn, but that was my choice. I did not do that. So this one gets hit. And then the flux beam is going to hit 2 cards. And again, we decide, we'll just say we swap those. Those are the same. Flux beam doesn't really help the AI that much, so. But it is going to upgrade into the scythe beam in that spot. Its next card is another weapon. And so here we go. We've got a link laser, which I think I'll place right here. And actually, check this out. So I'm going to arm the link laser to hit this card, destroying it. And then I'm going to do my 2 boarding pods to do 2 damage to the command deck. And I've won the game. And so there you have it. That was the solo playthrough of Solar Titans on the normal AI mode. I definitely recommend, after a couple games, bumping it up to the harder AI mode. It's definitely a very interesting deck building game. You'll have to stay tuned for my preview and impressions video that will come later. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below about the game. Do check out their Gamefound. Follow them on their website. I'll have links in the comments for everything. Please also toss me a like or subscribe if you like the content you see here. And I thank you very much for watching Tabletop for One. Have a great night.